Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Dave Kaczynski here with DRB Systems, and welcome to the Patheon first half review. We'll do a few housekeeping items and then go ahead and get started. So before we get started, just a few things to point out that, how to communicate with us during the meeting. If you have a question, you can click on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and then type your question. At the end of the webinar, we'll answer as many as we can. By the end of the week, we'll send out a recording of today's webinar along with a link to the Patheon release notes that are going to highlight all of the features released to date with explanations of those features. We'll have time for Q&A towards the end. All questions and answers will be documented, and answers will be sent out to in case they cannot get in front of all of them. Also, if you're having technical difficulties, our team will be here monitoring the Q&A button, so just let them know that you're there. Also, if you don't see the Q&A button, try clicking View Options and then Exit Full Screen. This will put the webinar into a smaller window. So introduction to myself. I'm Dave Kaczynski, the Vice President of Product Management here at DRB. I've been with the company now for about 4.5 years, with most of that time responsibility for the Patheon product. So first, I'd like to start to talk a little bit about, where we are with Patheon today, kind of the depth and breadth of the system. We've got 51 organizations across 78 active locations with Patheon. In the first half of this year, we did $47.8 million in total revenue on the system. So congratulations to all you operators operating on the Patheon platform. That is a really great number for 6 months of the year. Across that period, 21.17 million of that is total reload revenue. We washed a total of almost 4.5 million cars on Patheon within a period of 6 months. Our average involuntary churn across all 78 locations is 3.2%. We're going to talk about some strategies and ways to lower that. Things like using card account updater, making sure that you're using the reload button on the XPT. There's some features that are coming in the second half that are going to be targeted towards lowering that churn rate. And so, those are some things that operators can do to help reduce that rate. The highest monthly capture rate of all operators, we had one location out there that did a 31% monthly capture rate at their site for the month. That was the really, really impressive number. Our highest car count hour across the entire system was 153 cars. So somebody out there washed 153 cars in an hour. So really, really good volume numbers there. The highest daily car count, we had a site do 1,517 cars in a single day, and in the month of over from January to June, we had 6,587 plans that were saved using the XPT reload button. If you don't know what the XPT reload button is, basically if a plan member is in a reloading phase or reloading state, when they pull up to the XPT will ask them to update their credit card, and it will immediately charge their credit card, get them back into an active state, and Patheon saves that plan from going inactive. So some great numbers across the first half of the year here. So we'll go through some highlights. We've got several categories of features and advancements that we've had over the past year. First is keeping your customers washing. So what are we doing to keep your customers washing? Improving your customer's journey. So user experience is really important for us here at DRB. What are we doing to basically make sure that your customers' journeys has as little friction as possible? That's making sure their plans are up to date. That's making sure that the experience on site is as positive, quick, and easy as possible. And then giving you actionable business insights as an operator. So what are the things that we doing there? So in the first half of this year, around keeping customers washing, we launched our dynamic XPT staff screen. If you haven't been made aware of it, you can access it by either scanning an employee badge or using the help button and logging in. There's a lot of really great capabilities that are within the staff screen. You can see, license plates as they're scanned. You can see what the detected license plate or what the license plate reader read. You can change your car pick. You can replace a license plate or add an existing license plate to a vehicle. The thought there is that when a license plate, an alternate license plate is added, it's likely that the license plate reader is going to read it the same way the second time. And that'll make sure that that customer's experience is great the next time it comes through. There's a lot of other really great functionality in here to help you manage your members, to help you manage your operations and keep that lane moving. Proactive monitoring, it's something you may not be aware of because it's not customer facing to our Patheon users, but we're collecting a lot of data, whether it be on a point of sale, on a tunnel screen, on an XPT, on a gate, but we're bringing all that data back into our knowledge center and providing it to our knowledge staff so that they can see exactly what's going on at your site, see reboot history, device statuses, when things are in and out of service, so that they can better service you. From a DRB support perspective, where we want to go long-term with this is we really want to be able to identify issues on your site, potentially even before you realize there's an issue. So we're utilizing that machine data and pulling it back in and making it actionable for our knowledge center. From a customer journey perspective, so we've got a few features here. We launched our pay-as-you-go frictionless experience on the EWA. What this is, it allows you to publish washes to your EWA, to your app, and basically allow customers to define a default wash and a credit card to a vehicle. And so the next time they show up, the experience for the consumer is very much like being a plan member, but we recognize the license plate or the RFID sticker and just open the gate and charge the credit card on file. So we've seen really good adoption of that feature. It's something that is really beneficial to plan members who potentially, or retail members who don't want to become plan members maybe just yet. It helps them see the value. Additionally, if they're a retail member and they're not convinced on a plan membership, getting them in the app, getting their information, letting them use this feature is a great way to eventually transition them to a membership once they see the value that it provides. The EWA direct links, so for each one of your products that are shared in the EWA, you have an actual link that will take you directly into the purchase flow of that product. So, the standard EWA flow is you come in, you log in, you see the cart, you see the menu as you see on the screen here. If you leverage the direct links, you can link those directly to your website, or if you're pushing a certain plan, you can use those direct links to get customers immediately into the purchase flow, reduce the journey friction, and get them buying a wash as soon as possible. So we've seen a lot of success using those direct links with our operators. The virtual gift cards is something we recently launched. So the virtual gift cards, you can push gift cards to your EWA. Your members can share those with family members or friends, whoever it may be, but it allows them to basically, give a gift, keep it virtual. They can scan a QR code when they show up on site at the XPT or the point of sale, and redeem those gift cards just the same way they would a standard physical gift card. Last is the XPT promotional mode. So we've had some customers get really creative with the promotional mode. So this allows you to take your welcome screen within the Patheon XPT workflow and turn that into something that is promoting some type of product. A lot of folks do it as I'm going to promote my plan sales. And so, all plans $9.99 a month, they turn that welcome screen into a promotional mode that allows a path for customers to get, directly from the welcome screen, which is offering a plan with a campaign directly into the purchase flow of that plan. So it's a great enhancement there to improve your customer journey and help you achieve more plan member base. So let's talk about actionable business insights for a minute. So these are strictly reports. So these are reports that you would find within the Patheon portal under the report section. You can see a screenshot of the general sales report here. We launched the prepaid products balance report. So this basically enables operators to really check a prepaid balance by code and look up how much value is left on that prepaid product. So whether it's a gift card or a prepaid product, you can go in and kind of check that balance. The XPT cash audit report, we made some updates to that. So it reflects any differences between the expected ending balance and the recorded ending balance. So there was a discrepancy there. We updated that report to fix that discrepancy, and those changes have been implemented in production. The last thing is the house account activity report. So we updated the format to make it easier to read. The house account activity for each location with detail pages, they're now separated by location. So if you have multi-location sites, you can see that activity broken out by the location. We've published a lot of dashboards of late in the last 6 months. So we put out enhancements to the Essential Web App dashboard. So you can now see how many pay-as-you-go members are active and who those members are. So you can see if people have signed up on your EWA for that pay-as-you-go feature. And so it's really great to be able to track, if I market this pay-as-you-go feature to retail customers, am I seeing success? How many people are getting to sign up? Also gives you a great way to go in and say, okay, now I'm gonna take this list of people, and now how do I market to them to potentially get them to become plan memberships? The current statistics dashboard, this basically allows you to see certain operational metrics like car counts, sales per car, planned sales loss for today, and some other great information, but it allows you to kind of do it today, yesterday, this week, this month, really breaking down the current statistics and comparing it to other areas. The sales comparison dashboard, so it provides a trends of important metrics like average hourly and daily car counts, unlimited plan capture rates, churn rates, some of the things that we talked about on that first slide, plans reloaded. It also shows daily, weekly, and monthly and yearly stats. So a lot of great information in that sales comparison dashboard. If you haven't seen some of these three, they've been released in the last release on Sunday. So they should be new in your Patheon Insights section. So feel free to go out there and please give us feedback on them. The multi-site comparison dashboard, so it allows you to take multiple sites and compare metrics between those two sites. So you can select multiple locations and kind of compare how are my sites doing against each other, and make any adjustments you need to make there. The rewash dashboard, we made some visual enhancements to that. It's a much better looking, easier to use dashboard at this point. So we're really happy with the progress that we've made in the first half around Patheon Insights. Okay, so that wraps up the first half of the year. And so what I want to do is kind of transition to talking a little bit about the second half of the year and kind of some of the things that are coming that hopefully you all are excited about. First thing, this is a large effort for the team. So this is really customer management via the Patheon portal. So this is going to be delivered in phases across the second half of the year. The first phase of this will be relatively soon here. it's going to allow you to suspend, discontinue, and view the history, the purchase history for your customers, all within the Patheon portal. So you'll be able to suspend a plan, discontinue a plan, basically anything that doesn't require you to do any payment operations. Phase 2 of customer maintenance in the portal will be using the card on file to do any of those operations. So upgrading or downgrading a customer that requires a payment, terminating a plan with a refund are 2 examples. But basically using that card on file and allowing you to do that via the Patheon portal, so you can manage your members anywhere you have your laptop, your iPad, or your and your login information. And then the second to last phase of this will be card entry into the portal. So being able to update the card on file. So you'll be able to basically select a site, pick the site that customer is for, and then update that card to make sure that all the revenue continues to flow to that location, and update that card on file for that plan. Then the last phase 4 of this will be towards the end of the year, you'll be able to sell a plan via the portal. So you'll be able to create a brand new customer record, input the vehicles, input the credit card information, select a plan, and completely sell that customer, pick which site you want that revenue to flow to, and sell a plan via the Patheon portal. From a house account perspective, we have a lot of house account users out there as we start to grow. We're introducing discounts, support for the SAL lane, which today it's XBT only really with house accounts or attended lanes, and then default wash. So default wash allows you to define a default wash for a house account. When that house account vehicle comes through the lane, it will automatically give them that specific wash. Pay-as-you-go upsells to plans. Actually, Beacon Mobile integration. So I want to talk about that for a second. So one of the things, we acquired Beacon Mobile almost a year ago now. Alan's been doing great work across the organization. Alan with Beacon Mobile. We are getting ready to integrate Beacon Mobile into Patheon. So we're targeting an October release for integration of Beacon Mobile into Patheon. Beacon Mobile provides a lot of really great capabilities like loyalty, a native application, and Alan is doing work to make sure that Alan and team are doing work to make sure that things are really cohesive and it's a true integration with Patheon. And so that, things like Patheon, the EWA, Beacon Mobile, they all work in coordination with each other to provide the best experience possible. So this is going to be a true integration with Beacon Mobile. Pay-as-you-go upsells to plans is another feature. So basically, if a customer selects a wash, you'll be able to upgrade them to a plan, or ask them are you sure? Would you like to purchase a plan today instead for only $10 more? And then some more Card Connect enhancements. So introducing a few capabilities to improve the churn rate, being able to offline capture cards at the XBT. So a few more improvements there to Card Connect for those of you on the Card Connect platform. Text and email consumer notifications. So again, this is another feature that's going to be delivered in phases. The first phase will be, receipts and payment notifications. So things like, so receipts like, I made a purchase, I signed up for a receipt. We can text, we can email that receipt to the customer automatically when the purchase happens. The second phase of that will be around notifications, a little bit of dunning management, to where, a card is expiring, please update your credit card, a payment has failed, please update your credit card, or make a payment, or notification that you have a payment upcoming. So there's a lot of rules that are being pushed down now by the FTC to some states. I think it's still up in the air now whether it kind of takes shape across all the United States. But there's a lot of rules coming around how we notify customers that a subscription payment is coming, And so there's going to be an impact to the car wash industry on that. We are ahead of that stuff and giving you the tools that you need to make sure that you stay compliant with any of those regulations as they come down. Set price 2. So set price 2, if you've used the discount builder, there's conditions to meet a discount, and then there's actions. Set price 2 is an action that's going to simplify the discount configuration. So the best example is I've got 3 plans. I discount all of them to $9.99. I can push one discount to all 3 of my plans and indicate that I want to set my price to $9.99. And so Patheon will automatically calculate the change in that discount based on the plan pricing. And so if you change your plan price, if you change your plan price for, maybe you run a happy hour special or something like that, it's not going to matter. It's always going to adjust it down to $9.99, no matter what price you have that plan set to. So it's really going to simplify configuration, especially for our multi-site operators, start to reduce the amount of discounts and products that you have to configure. We are updating retracts in the second half of this year. So for customers that are using more than the 7 retracts we support today, we'll support 15 retracts. We're also going to add support for temporary retracts. So we've gotten feedback from some customers that, it's great that Patheon saves retracts to certain vehicles, but they'd also like the ability to do temporary retracts. So I only want this retract to apply to this visit. I don't want Patheon to save this retract forever. So that's going to help hopefully improve kind of the speed of the tunnel loader. XPT 2012, the integration is coming along really nicely. We are mowing through that. The first phase of that is going to be cashless only. And then later in the year, we'll support XPT 2012s with cash. So for those of you with site watch locations on XPT 2012, if you're waiting to move, we will support XPT 2012s later in the year. And then the last thing is smart widgets. So the smart widgets, really, I didn't talk about these in the first half of the year, but we implemented smart widgets. What smart widgets do is basically take the configuration of the product and they surface the price, the product name, the different pieces of metadata for that product and put it on the XPT screen. We're going to implement that for our upsells. We already introduced it in the first half of the year, actually in the last release in R29 for XPTs. So now you have the flexibility to pick the location of the price, change the font, the size, the naming convention. You can save styles and themes, but it's a really powerful tool for you to use smart widgets and really simplify your XPT workflow configurations. So second half data and insights. We've got a sales tax report. We've got basically that's going to help you determine how much tax you collect per year during the year. It's going to really help with tax reporting. The free wash dashboard is something that is going to really provide data around free wash coupon codes given out, redemption status of those codes. It's really going to help operators kind of track their marketing efforts on those free wash coupons and as well as the tax reporting around those. The commission tracking dashboard, as we look to provide, commission calculator. So being able to, scan an employee barcode, assign that to a plan, and then track that information so that you know how much to pay your employees for based on how much commission you give for each plan sold. The general sales dashboard. So this is similar to the general sales paginated report in the portal, but we're actually recreating that into Patheon Insights to give you similar information, but it's going to be much more flexible than maybe the general sales report is in kind of a canned format. So you have the ability to do, much more data layering, going down through different layers of data on the general sales dashboard, and navigating that data. So we're really excited about that. The prepaid dashboard is coming. We know a lot of people are excited about this. It's coming in release 30. So we've got, it's basically going to show you total liability sold, used, available for all prepaid and gift card plans, but it's going to give you an entire visibility to your prepaid status. And then the deputy labor systems integration. So basically, we are going to connect deputy with Patheon. We're going to pull that labor data back into Patheon so that we can begin, visualizing labor data within Patheon Insights. So we can merge it together with car wash data. We can visualize it, help you analyze how your staffing is doing across each of your locations. Are you understaffed? Are you overstaffed? Based on the day, how many cars you're forecasted to wash, things like that. With that, I'll open it up for questions. If you have any questions, feel free to, please submit those via that chat box, and we can answer any of those. If we can't get to them today, we will send something out after the webinar. Okay, so I've got a couple here that I'll read. So overall, LPR is good at my site, but I do have a few customers who repeatedly do not have their license plate read correctly. Is there anything I can do to improve this? So if you have customers that are, constantly, being misread, using that staff screen that we talked about earlier in the program, you can assign an alternate license plate to that vehicle. So there's a little checkbox. If you look in the release notes for Patheon, you'll see there's a checkbox to allow you to add what the license plate reader read and assign it to that vehicle. Hopefully the next time they come back, the license plate reader will read it the same way. And that customer, the gate will open. It'll be a seamless experience. The EWA gives my customers a good access point to sign and manage their memberships. Is there going to be a way for me to create loyalty? So when we do that integration with Beacon Mobile has a very robust loyalty integration. So we'll provide that in 2023. And going forward, we'll continue to integrate Beacon Mobile into Patheon. How do we leverage digital and physical channels on site and make that experience for the customer as harmonious as possible? So we are aggressively moving in that direction to be able to provide great loyalty for our customers and your customers. There are already many dashboards and widgets in Patheon Insights. With all these new dashboards and updates, will there be insights training and best practices shared to understand how to utilize all this data and optimize my business? So there's actually another webinar coming in the future here. So look out for that next webinar. It is focused entirely on Patheon Insights. So I believe Bob Severns is doing that training. It's a great training to really help you get the full utilization and benefit from that. So keep an eye out for that. I don't see any more questions. The one thing I do want to remind people is we will have an NPS survey coming out. I know we've called some of our customers in the past. We're going to do this via 2 channels this time. So we're going to email an NPS survey. We're also going to push one into the Patheon portal, so you can digitally give your feedback into the NPS. I highly encourage you to kind of give that feedback. We really internalize it. We spend a lot of time on analyzing the NPS and how we can make Patheon a better product. So, I definitely encourage everyone to submit their feedback. Okay, with that, I thank everyone. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But appreciate everyone attending, and have a great day. Thanks.